Yo, what is good YouTube? It's your boy Info with the Info in the building. You're on the vibes. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, leave a subscribe, bro. But today we got to another video, another interesting video actually. This is something new. So I seen Flight react to this. Honestly, I'ma just be straight up. I seen him react to it, and I want to see what it was talking about. This video is called "Smart Schoolboy 9: An Internet Rabbit Hole," and it is by Nick Crowley. So let's get straight to it. Without any further ado, we finna just boom. I'm gonna just get straight to it, man. I have no clue what this is about to entail.
Creepy accounts pretending to be kids. I came across a reel randomly, and it's led me down this weird rabbit hole of people using AI or dressing up pretending to go to school. They all seem to have high heels, check images in them. Is this an age play thing or something more sinister? Literally anything helps as I keep trying to look for answers. This post was made to the subreddit r/Instagram by the user numerouscut792 on April 15th, 2024. It featured screenshots of 3 bizarre-looking Instagram pages they had encountered earlier that day, with OP expressing concern that something truly disturbing was happening with these users. And those in the thread agreed. What the actual fuck? Found all of them and blocked them all. Truthsticks11 is seriously creepy to me. I've been trying to find more about them but can hardly find anything. Very weird account to say the least. The 3 accounts apparently belong to 3 different children. However, when combing through their posts, the content seems to imply something much more bizarre was afoot. Something truly disturbing. This post would be the start of a story that would eventually be picked up and shared all across the online world, becoming one of the more notorious internet mysteries in recent memory, as these accounts revealed an unending rabbit hole that is still being traversed to this very day, in an ongoing investigation into one of the most depraved oddities.
Bro, I just want to say, bro, before we even get too deep into it, bro, it is crazy how much weird shit be going on in this world. A lot of people hear what Soul Illuminati says and just think he's crazy. Soul Illuminati be speaking some facts, bro. There's a lot of crazy shit that goes on in this world. I'm not even gonna get too political. I'm not even finna, you feel me? But just know there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in this world, and the craziest shit in your mind that you wouldn't even think is true. Like, think about that stuff with Diddy. Nobody would have ever thought he was fiddling with boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, obviously with the way he acted, there was a little give. But you know what I'm saying? Nobody would have ever thought he was seriously drugging people, doing all this craziness, like the craziest shit in the world. Like, I mean, you could have said people would have thought, you know, it was a lot of stuff leading to it, but you get what I'm saying. Nobody would ever thought it was that bad. 1,000 bottles of baby oil, literally, I'm telling you, the craziest stuff that you could ever think of, that you could never even imagine, be happening on this earth. Like, just because you're normal and we're normal people and we don't think of stuff like that does not mean that somebody else out there isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Ever found on Instagram.
So I'm just
This
saying,
is the
don't put
emerging
it past
story
anybody.
of Smart
Like, you don't know
Schoolboy 9.
Don't put it past.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my gosh, his videos are just so unsettling. I kind of like it. I'm gonna react to more of his stuff for sure.
We'll return after these messages.
Before we get too far down this rabbit hole, I want to first thank today's sponsor, AG1. AG1 does no after Kai's post in the Reddit post, educated mother choosing to stay. Beautiful boy, an account looked after by me, a degree-educated mother choosing to stay anonymous.
Oh, this is Truth
This was the
Sticks
bio
11,
of the first account pictured in the Reddit post,
Okay.
an account named Truthsticks11, which was said to be operated by a 12-year-old boy and his mother. Back in October of 2021, the duo would make their very first post, kicking things off on a somewhat concerning note, though not for their own page, but instead another account on the platform.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
The video was created and posted by the mother for the sole purpose of warning others of a specific user who had been posing as a child online when, in actuality, he was a grown man who did this in order to get close to and exploit other children across the platform. It's the grim reality of this online world, as predators will do just about anything to get closer to children, and it's a reality often unrealized or even ignored by parents.
Watch what your kids are doing. That's what else I'ma say. I ain't gonna be pausing, but watch what the hell your kids are doing. Be nosy, nigga. Be nosy, especially when they're little. If they're grown, my age, 18, 17, they're good. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time. But still watch them, but they're good most of the time. Because you know, like, what's right and wrong by that age. But even then, a lot of these little fast-ass little children be trying to date 20, 25. I'm not with that. See, you in high school talking about something, you be fucking grown women and men. Like, I'm not with that shit.
Which makes it almost refreshing that this mother was out here trying to raise awareness. These posts would become the crux of the account early on. They would call out this user and their many accounts again and again, eventually going more in depth about what this person would actually do, claiming that they had a strange perversion to dressing up as a young schoolboy. Does he wish he were a young boy in a school classroom, looking nice and being successful at school? Yes. This theme of calling out.
So, this random account, Truthsticks11, just randomly calls out random accounts that are posing to be children. Okay.
Out online predators would remain consistent throughout the years on Truthsticks11. However, after some time, the mother behind the account began to use the page for its initially intended purpose, to share photos of her son. The photos began reasonably normal, and would show this young boy studying at school, accepting awards from their principal, and even school presentations in which their son had attended, with the captions often boasting about how intelligent the young boy was. Though over time, the photos began to grow stranger.
What? They started using AI. You could really tell right here, like, this is crazy. Like, this is AI as fuck. Like, look at his face. Look at his hair. Oh, that's so weird. Like, especially, like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing?
They looked off, almost as if they were AI generated. And on top of this, they began to appear heavily edited in an almost inexplicable manner, with deep red lipstick often being added, which was enunciated by his face being turned pure white.
What?
This unsettling trend would continue from here, as with each passing post, the photos grew less authentic and more surreal.
Oh nah, this is weird. This is weird. This is weird. I'm watching this at 3 a.m.
Until they became...
Do I need to go to sleep? No. I should probably go to sleep.
straight up disturbed, even sickening. These bizarre edits spilled over past just the images too, as the posts began to appear as disjointed collages, often showcasing multiple grotesque images and paragraphs about how much this user loved school. And this wasn't the only shift either. At some point, the son behind the account began posting content that allegedly came directly from him, saying things like, "My really cool mom asked me if I'd like to post, and I said, yes please." He even shared supposed videos that he had filmed of himself, which were equally as unconvincing as his photos, and somehow even more chilling.
Oh, fuck no. Like, gang. Okay, so this is either, he's either a serial killer, right? Or he's just bored as fuck. Because you know how bored you gotta be to... No, fuck that. Either way, you bored. You know how bored you gotta be to sit here and AI generate videos all day to look creepy? Like, you do this to build your aura. Like, this is all, like... This is aura farming. This is literally what this is. You want people to be scared of you. This is aura farming. Nigga, stop aura farming and go get some bitches, nigga. Go get a Subway sandwich, nigga. There's better things to do in your life, nigga. Go to Korean barbecue, nigga. Eat some good food, nigga. Get some oxtail with some curry goat and some mac and cheese.
The boy even shows off his singing in one of the clips. Though their voice sounds off. the account was overall anomalous and extremely off-putting. And though this content was visually alarming, another aspect made it even more so concerning, as over time, many of the images began to resemble CP, showcasing these fake AI children in explicit positions.
Okay. Hopefully that's taken down. It's not. Or no, that's a different account. Cause it has that. Cause it has the what's it called afterwards. Okay. Truth Sticks. 11. Nah, yeah, it's taken down. That specific one, I can't find it. Yeah. That is weird, though. But these guys are also weird for, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are fake.
With their faces sometimes even being photoshopped onto scantily dressed adult bodies.
Ooh, that's
One thing is
disgusting.
blatantly obvious about the Truth Sticks account. The supposed child behind it is not real. Even in the more passable photos at the very beginning, there's evidence to suggest that these were likely AI as well. And based on the disturbed, borderline illegal content that this page featured, it seemed more than likely that whoever was behind this page was not an innocent mother concerned for the welfare of other children, but instead, a predatory individual themselves.
That's how they
And this
lured 'em
wasn't
in.
their only account. The second page featured on the Reddit post belonged to a user named GirlChloe12 and bore striking similarities to Truth Sticks. The page was also supposedly run by a child and monitored by their parent. Bizarrely, they also posted frequently about the dangers of online predators, with the wording of these posts and the editing being essentially the exact same as Truth Sticks, just not as over the top. These two accounts even frequently interacted with each other, thus providing a substantial link on its own. But by far the most compelling link between these pages is one that is
these
easy to
photos
miss.
are like crazy, bro. Like back up. Like back up. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
At a glance, with that being a blatant obsession with high-heeled mini boots. These shoes were mentioned or shown in virtually every single post made by these two users.
Okay.
At playtime, I'm sometimes running around with my really cool heeled footwear I wear with my uniform. After coming home from school,
always
education
some
isn't
weird
over for the
shit.
day once the blue blazer, gray jersey, neat tie, white shirt, tailored close-fit gray trousers, and black heeled mini boots are in the wardrobe. No matter what they discussed, school uniforms and mini boots were always a talking point, which adds confirmation to something that is already becoming apparent. This is fetish content, not too
It
unlike the
definitely
bizarre
is.
accounts in the Pipergate rabbit hole. Fetish content centered around children. And what makes the
That's
Chloe account so
disgusting, bro.
disturbing is that AI was seemingly not used, and rather, the images seem to be of actual children. Despite this disturbing distinction, these two accounts are cut from the same cloth, and all signs point to them being created by the same person. A person who, despite their constant warnings of the dangers of adults pretending to be children online, seems to be doing the exact same thing, as part of some sort of fetish, the extent of which we'll discuss later. But for now, one thing was for certain. These pages were not run by children, or their parents. So, who created them? Well, that brings us to our third and final account shown in that initial post.
Oh my gosh.
Smart Schoolboy 9 was much the same as the other.
Whoa. Gang. That aura. I ain't gonna lie, he just gave Smart Schoolboy 9 mad aura. I don't even wanna I'm scared. Okay.
Smart Schoolboy 9 was much the same as the other two accounts. They warned of online predators, obsessed over high-heeled mini boots and school uniforms, and posed as a child despite clearly not being one. But Smart Schoolboy was different in one key aspect. The person behind the account was pretending to be a child, but they were doing so in a much more apparent manner. as they didn't use AI or stolen images of other kids to form their identity.
What?
And instead, they used photos of themselves. In the images posted on the account, we see what appears of
What the fuck? Oh my god. Yo.
themselves.
You see what I'm saying? Like, how do you even get this? Bro, they need to find him and put a bullet in his head. Walk down. Stand over. They need to get rid of him.
In the images posted on the account, we see what appears to be a fully grown man, dressed in a schoolboy's uniform. His face is painted pure white and has bright red lipstick, and he's, of course, wearing high-heeled mini boots. Characteristics that were all utilized across the other accounts, only this time, it's mini boots, pure white.
This nigga's really... This nigga... He's pathetic.
Has bright red lipstick, and he's, of course, wearing high-heeled mini boots.
I'm losing my
Characteristics
voice,
that were all utilized across the other accounts, only this time it was done on himself, as he poses as a child, pretending to go to school, as well as pretending to go through other life events common for preteens. And the photos aren't even the most disturbing part, as the account consists primarily of videos.
Oh. School. Hey, let me know if you like school as well.
The videos are all incredibly off-putting. Some show him arriving home from school.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Bro, ain't no arriving home from school, bitch. You 50 with a gut and bills to pay. And this is what you do in your free time? Out of all things to do, nigga, I'd rather you be an alcoholic. What are you doing? You had a million wrong paths you could have went down that would have been better than this. Let alone the billion other normal paths you could have chose. Nigga, you could have picked up a book and started reading. You could have picked up a fork and started eating. You could have picked up a pan and started fucking cooking. You could have picked up a broom and started cleaning. Nigga, you could have... Bro, you know how many other hobbies there is? Nigga, you could have went outside and lost some weight tubs and played a little basketball. A little soccer. But you decided to this is like them like nah real shit though, like this is like top 3 most pathetic shits I've ever seen in my life. Like imagine like
others show him claiming to be on the bus
about
heading
you?
toward school.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm on the school bus.
And other videos showing him doing whatever this is. With these
fuck no. Bro, you heard what I said the first time. They need to find him and they need to put a bullet in his head and annihilate him from this world immediately. We can get people pardoned from other countries. We can't find this motherfucker and have somebody make sure he gets faced with a Draco. Please? He can't be doing nothing
with
good
these
with
strange
that
sounds
sound.
and the process of sticking his tongue out appearing to be part of his fetish. As much like the other accounts, his content is overtly sexual, in its own bizarre way. In fact, there's a video of him with his full outfit on, where he shows himself staring into a mirror as he appears to pleasure himself, right out of view of the camera, as he stares into his own eyes. This account is by as he stares into as he appears to there's a video of him with his full outfit on, where he shows himself staring into a mirror as he appears to pleasure himself, right out of view of the camera, as he stares into his own eyes. This account is by far the most sickening part of this whole rabbit hole, and also the most important. Interspersed throughout his page are a few examples of what this individual's voice sounds like,
This is quite good.
which just so happens to be the same voice heard in the very first clip shown on the Truthsticks account,
A man pretending to be a boy.
meaning that this full-grown adult man is the one behind this entire rabbit hole. He's the one on these accounts pretending to be a child and their mother, getting some sort of sick satisfaction from whatever this is. And the worst part is, these activities aren't just kept behind closed doors. As we can see on numerous occasions, videos of him walking around outside in a public space with his full outfit and face paint on.
I don't see.
You're not even ashamed, bro. You just pathetic as
It's
fuck.
truly one of the strangest things that I've ever seen, and making sense of what this all is extremely difficult. But based on the information found from this first Reddit post, a few likely conclusions can be put forward. This man is clearly attracted to the idea of being a kid, and I think OP was correct when they speculated that this was some sort of age play thing, but it's also clearly much more than that too, as based on the images that he's created himself, he clearly has some sort of attraction to other children as well, as he's quite literally created faux CP, the likes of which is so disturbing that I can't even really describe it here either. He's creating fetish content, and he's using the likeness of children, and also some children that are clearly very real people, to do so. That much is obvious. But there was also the possibility that he was pretending to be a kid in order to exploit other children across the internet. At this point though, this was merely speculation, with much of the Smart Schoolboy 9 case remaining a mystery, and the rabbit hole was only getting deeper from here.
Community 3? I mean,
months after this rabbit hole was introduced to the online world, the story began to be shared all across the internet, most notably on the r/internet mysteries subreddit, where the case really took off. There, internet sleuths began uncovering just how vast this web of accounts actually was, as it wasn't just these 3 pages. No, there seemed to be over a dozen, and likely even more that we still haven't found, as he's created his own sort of community, his own little world, where across each page he pretends to be a child, with these accounts typically following each other and frequently interacting, seemingly to make these characters appear as though they have real friends. On one of these pages, 12 Stockwell Joanne, he poses as a 14-year-old girl, using more AI images to depict explicit positions of this manufactured child,
can we kill
which
this
I obviously am
nigga?
not going to show here. Though much like his Chloe account, he also shows images of very real young girls. But this isn't the most concerning part of this account, as on numerous occasions, he's shown images of children at a playground, which he may have taken himself.
Oh my gosh.
This fantasy of being a schoolgirl and taking part in these school-centric activities is something
knows
carried
what he
over
did
throughout
with them
multiple of his
pictures, man.
accounts, with his most common alias being Stephanie, of which he has numerous different accounts featuring that same name.
Yeah, I'm Stephanie.
This Stephanie character claims to be a 12
Really, just watching this just lets me know and really like reminds me that some motherfuckers just don't deserve freedom. Like his rights need to be taken away. He either needs to be killed or all of his rights need to be stripped from him. That's what I think would be beneficiary.
12-year-old aspiring poet, with accounts all across the internet, many of which showcasing examples of her poetry, which carries on those same
I'm
distinct
gonna actually move my camera like right here.
sexual undertones. I race to complete my poems when I've got an early start. Heart racing, mixed rhythms, maximizing miracles, rice with rap, and on the map. My Kennington, London syllables. Dancing though I know my underwear might show if I lean forward. Good. Stephanie Stansfield, 12. But digging
like
even
he just
deeper,
has to
her poetry
remind
has even
himself
seemingly
that it's
been
a
featured
kid.
in various articles and even newspapers, showcasing that this rabbit hole extends far past just the online world. This act is clearly their obsession, and he's been doing this for years, with the earliest examples that I could find coming from all the way back in 2018.
Can we kill
And this
him?
Stephanie character seems to be his
He can't
go-to
die
alias,
today.
embodying it in even the literal sense.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
As
Lord Jesus, please Protect me as I sleep tonight, Lord God. Protect all the viewers that are watching, Lord God. Protect them as they sleep, Lord God. And please, Lord God, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. That's all I'm going to say on that, because I don't have anything positive to say. So, we're just going to move forward. This nigga dead ass disgusts me. Like, this is the most disgusting nigga I've ever seen.
As in one of his many
life.
pages dedicated to this Stephanie character, he dresses as her, wearing a wig and a dress, as he pretends to be a 12-year-old girl. Almost immediately after this case began gaining traction, the true magnitude of this rabbit hole was revealed. Across every single account are countless depraved posts and oddities that all could warrant discussion. But by far the most important discoveries were those that didn't actually occur on his own page, and rather the pages of other actual children. Do you like school? I do. It is good. You have some cool shirts, but I have to wear school uniforms to school. It is nice, but casual isn't allowed, and
Oh my gosh, she's all in real kids' comments. Bro, do not let your kids on social media before they are the age to be on social media, bro. If they not 13, that's what it says in the terms of service. If they not at least 13, do not let them be on social media, man. Because this is wild. Like, I know these are even like 12 and 13 year olds, but I feel like at that age, they're more likely to come to you, you know, especially if they have a good relationship, if they see some shit like that. I don't know who this is. This looks a little weird, and he's in my comments. What should I do?
you have some cool shirts, but I have to wear school uniforms to school. It is nice, but casual isn't allowed, and it's quite hot here in the UK, as the month of June suddenly got warmer. These are two examples out of many that show Smart Schoolboy 9 reaching out and attempting to befriend young children online.
Man,
In one
he
comment,
needs to
he even
be
warns a child
dead.
about other comments from bad people, stating that, "It happens to most boys in our age group, but stay safe, stay cool, don't be dismayed by creeps." This is our best evidence that these accounts weren't just made for age play. No, he's actually posing as a child in order to make friends with other children.
Yes.
And given his overtly sexual interests
He's
and
weird
aversion to
as
CP,
fuck.
it's not hard to gather why he was doing this. And these examples are only what we found so far. It's possible that there are dozens, or who knows, maybe even hundreds of other comments out there, hidden on unknown children's accounts. This is predatory behavior. The man behind
no
Schoolboy 9
shit.
is a predator.
Yes.
And in case there was
he
still
needs
any
to
doubt
die.
of whether or not this was a
needs to
sexual
die.
thing, here's what he had to say about being a 13-year-old girl. Here's what he had to say about
He was squeaking. So, girl, being 13 is really sexy, but being a good girl is
being
too.
a 13-year-old girl.
No chance. I'm saying this one out loud.
But have his tactics actually worked?
Oh,
Well, the frightening thing is, no one knows if he's actually been successful or not, or even what specifically he's looking for. We just know that he's trying to reach kids, as evidenced not only by his comments, but by the fact that he's solely following children on all of these pages. And though it's easy to look at these accounts and know that something is off, for children, it's not that simple, especially when there's pages showcasing photos of actual kids. Which brings up another frightening detail. Many of the images he's used of children have not been traced back to their original creator, and some seem to appear for the very first time online publicly on this man's pages, which might mean that he was sent them privately. There's even unknown creator detail.
Because if it, like, see, that's what makes it hold value. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it creepy. That's what makes it like really, really a problem. Because if you could just find it on the internet, it's probably just some creep, you know, just being weird. But for them pictures, for you to reverse image search them pictures and for them to not pop up, that means he's the source. Which is crazy, bro.
Many of the images he's used of children have not been traced back to their original creator, and some seem to appear for the very first time online publicly on this man's pages, which might mean that he was sent them privately. There's even one image that David posted on his Schoolboy account, which shows another kid that he claimed to be on a playdate with, though it's impossible to say if this is real or not. For now, we just don't know for sure. though given the fact that
Lord,
he's
I
reaching
pray
out to
to
children,
Jesus
posting
that is
fetish
not
content
true.
centered around children, and has even potentially photographed kids in the wild, one thing is for certain: Smart Schoolboy 9 needs to be stopped.
He needs to die.
Finding this man and reporting him to
You know
law
what they need to
enforcement
do?
quickly
Instead of, they should make like boiling acid, right? Like boiling acid, a pool of boiling acid, and just drop that nigga and lower that nigga. Put him in some contraption and just lower him, starting at his feet and then his calves, and then work up to his knees and just lower him and just burn him and just let him feel his body just dissipate in the acid slowly, but very slowly though. Put his toe, bro. I'm talking about slow. Dip his toe in. I'm talking about 30 seconds at the same level, then it moves up like this, and then 30 more seconds, then it moves up like this, like slow.
became
bro.
the top priority for those investigating the case. And luckily, he left several glaring clues behind that made this process a whole lot easier. On numerous occasions across his many pages, he would post images and videos of specific locations, even showing
We got GeoGuessr demons nowadays, so they gonna find it.
streets and mentioning very particular areas in his poems, all of which centered around the London area,
Okay,
immediately
he's
giving
not
us
in
an
the
idea of
US,
where he
okay.
was located. And that wasn't all. I mentioned how the alias of Stephanie was one that he used more so than any other, but what's interesting is that there was another name used just as often across his accounts, brought up time and time again, though it's a name that he never seemed to call any of his characters. Instead, he simply referred to this person as a stepbrother or a father, or even a friend from school, despite never actually picturing him, just mentioning his name: David.
David.
And sure enough, after connecting a few dots, it would be revealed that this person's actual name was in fact David. David Alter,
David.
with a man being 59
60
years
years
old.
old, like I just said, bro.
At the moment, it
60.
doesn't appear that David has any past criminal convictions or documented
needs to
history of this
die.
behavior, but we do know that thanks to the investigation done on Reddit and Discord, he is currently being investigated by local authorities,
Thank
which
you.
will hopefully put an end to his online behavior and shine some more light on who this person actually is. As for the time being, the only other information that we really know about David is that he likes to write poetry and he makes music. In a random
I'm not
newspaper,
listening to that.
where he's discussing the
I don't know
importance
what
of
spirits
kids
that's
wearing
letting in.
school uniforms.
Mm.
And that's really all we have at the moment. Though there is one very important aspect that we have yet to talk about in relation to this man, with that being David's mental state. Some believe that David is a mentally unwell individual who
Needs to
potentially
die.
doesn't know the extent of what they are doing. Now, even if this is the
I don't
case,
even
his behavior
care.
still needs to be stopped,
I
and
don't
he needs
even
to be given
care.
proper help to assure that no one else gets hurt by his actions. But it is important to note that David is far more intelligent than he lets on, as his personal accounts show us that he is fairly well-spoken and articulate. And throughout his problematic content, most of his
Nigga, you know, nigga, like, anybody who does something super duper illegal like this, bro, they're smart as fuck. Like, that's why I don't be going for that mentally unwell shit. They didn't know what they were doing. No. You know how smart you have to be to carry out an illegal operation like this. Like, how to even find connects to have pictures of kids that aren't online. Like, you know how, like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
bad grammar and strange verbiage seems to be his attempts at more authentically trying to replicate a child, but it's impossible to know for sure. But what we do know is that David is extremely manipulative, with his response to the situation and other clues littered across his accounts showing us that he seems to know what he's doing, and he knows that it's wrong.
Response? He had a response?
Since the exposure of David's accounts, he hasn't silently slithered away like most other predators would. Instead, he's actually responded on more than a few occasions, lashing out to those who have DM'd him, calling them the perverts and predators. He even left a comment on his Joanne account seemingly directed at himself, writing, "You are really sad," and on his Joanne account seemingly
The deflection is crazy. You're wanking as you text. You should have known he was a what's it called, just off the wanking. Like, boy, shut up. Telling somebody to get a job when this is what you do. You literally make accounts pretending to be kids, gang. Record yourself stroking in the mirror And you telling somebody else to get a
him,
job,
calling
you're
them
60
the
years old.
perverts and predators. He even left a comment on his Joanne account seemingly directed at himself, writing, "You are really sad. And if that's your name, David, be honest with yourself. You're 50, as you said elsewhere. You reply to me, a girl, as if I'm your buddy? No chance ever." This is something David does all the time. It's projection, and it started all the way back at the beginning of this rabbit hole.
So, that's the account
Yes.
run by
This is his account.
a
That's
man
his account.
pretending to be a boy.
And he continued posting these predator exposés, along with other warnings about predators on the internet across every page he made,
Deflection,
each of
bro.
which being hyper-specific to his own
Deflection.
predatory ways and fetishes. The things he accuses others of are blatant projections of his own dark vices. And I can think of 2 reasons why. Number 1, that this makes his account look safer to other parents and children. It gives the appearance that he's not another internet creep, because he's actively calling them out. It's a way to build trust in order to befriend and exploit kids. And number 2, he knows what he's doing is wrong. And this is his bizarre way of self-reporting, probably to make himself feel better
Yeah.
about what he's
Okay,
doing.
I'm telling
And it's
all
obvious
others,
based
so if
on
I
just
do it,
how
it's fine.
accurate these claims against others are to him. Does he wish he were a young boy in a school classroom, looking nice and being successful at school? Yes. And these claims are made
Super
over
specific,
and over
yeah.
again, as each time he calls someone out, he's further exposing himself, which becomes more concerning when you realize that these projections seemingly aren't strictly pedophilic. Within those eerily familiar
What?
expose posts he made on Truthsticks 11, he mentions how this user not only wanted to exploit children online, but they wanted to kill them as well. As he mentions that this user has a clear interest in cannibalizing kids, and even performing ritualistic sacrifices on them. And based on how accurate all of the other exposures are to himself, I have no reason to believe that this isn't part of his MO as well, as crazy as that may sound. This also seems to coincide with some of the content he's posted that I can't show you.
Oh my gosh. Bro, it's these cannibalism and murder and rituals. Rituals, cannibalism, and murder. And you fucking you's the worst human being alive.
As some of these photos show children edited in contorted positions, including some where he's added what appears to be rope to give the illusion that they're tied up. And what makes this even more disturbing is that on his accounts, he's posted numerous photos in the vicinity of schools, on nearby secluded trails, and even some where he discusses what time school starts and ends, saying that he likes to be awake and ready for it. There's even photos that show other children outside from a distance, almost as if David was stalking them. This is highly concerning. Even if we don't know truly how low this man's perversions get, he is still far too close to children, which is
He's a sick
perfectly
man,
encapsulated
bro.
by this photo of him on a school playground during the day.
He's a sick
And with his
man.
disturbing desires, I don't even want to imagine what he's capable of. Which brings us to the final
He
piece
needs
of
to
content
die.
that I need to talk about. Chasing another boy running in heeled mini boots. This was the text shown on screen during a short video posted onto one of David's many accounts. And in the video, we see the man pointing the camera at himself, showing his full face of white makeup and red lipstick. This video is edited more egregiously than any others I've seen across his page, with multiple explicit images and huge emojis covering the majority of the screen. Though just barely enough of the footage can be seen that shows David as he turns the camera around, revealing a young boy.
Oh, what?
Who he then proceeds to chase after.
Bro, this is like deadass the craziest shit in a few seconds. Which explains the jump cut. Bro, this is the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Who he then proceeds to chase after, giggling all the while.
Oh my gosh.
Whether this was an edited video or a real occurrence, we don't currently know.
That's a real occurrence.
David's
bro.
doings are a mystery that will take
I
some
don't
time
put
to
nothing
unravel,
past
and my
a nigga
hope is
like
that
that.
law enforcement will be able to follow through and help shed some more light on this individual, and finally put an end to his twisted behavior. But at this
nigga
point,
worse than
only one
Diddy.
thing is for sure.
He's just unknown.
The story of Smart Schoolboy 9 is far from over.
Wow. That was an amazing video. Shout out to Nick Crowley, man. That was a great video. Bro, it is crazy stuff going on in this world, bro. Y'all, please stay safe out here, bro. Shout out Flex. I like this video. I'm about to go watch his reaction to it before I go to sleep. I'm gonna head out, bro. I love y'all, man. Stay safe, bro. Please stay safe.